We would like to welcome back to the show a guest by the name of Keith Ballard. He's a school teacher down in San Diego, National Educator of the Year back in 2003, I believe it was. Thanks for coming back.
Hey, thank you very much.
When we had you here last time, we talked about your travels to India and China, where you did a real comparison between the education kids receive there versus the education kids get here. Could you wrap that up in a nutshell for us?
Yeah, real quick. You know, specifically China, because they're the competition in every way, shape, or form. You know, the kids over there starting 2 years old for kindergarten, okay? And so they're singing our ABCs by age 3. Second thing, they're doing 230 days a year versus our 175 or 80. And remember, they do it about 3 to 3.5 hours more per day. So remember, a typical Chinese student at age 18, 17 graduation rate is going to be 6 years ahead conservatively over our kids. And we're going to talk about this in a minute, but if one of these little propositions doesn't go through, it's going to be much more, right? Because we're looking at 3 weeks cut. And then, you know, it's just attitude. You know, we talked about that little thing that you had before. Well, gosh, guys, remember, these people are graduates of the American public education system. I'm not going to blame the teachers, but it's perception. We talked about this before. Perception of what's important. It's really important in places like South Korea and Asia to have good education.
Here, the kids get dressed up to go to school. They listen to the teachers.
Sure.
They behave.
And discipline at home.
Yeah.
Sure, discipline at home. And we haven't set up all these Frankenstein rules that make it very difficult to teach our kids, because we've set up this Frankenstein system, and guess what? Now we got to live with Frankenstein. This is the problem. In other places in the world, they haven't done this, so they can move ahead. You know, I could go on, but
well, you're not done traveling. Your next trip is South Korea, Canada, Finland.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What do you expect to see? The same kind of standards you see in China?
Same type of standards. You know, some people are very critical of the things that I say. Specifically, educators, educational administrators don't like the things that I say. You know, real quick, you know, our military at least has taken note that China is a competitor, and they talk about it every day, because I have friends that are officers and enlisted men. They talk about it every day, every day. Our military is smart enough to figure that out. Our educational system, the guys like me, they shun me away like, hey, this doesn't even exist. It does exist. China's a main competitor. You know, as far as places like South Korea, let's take South Korea. Here's a place I'm going in April. South Korea has no resources. I was just talking to a consortium of 20 teachers from South Korea a month ago, and I sat down and talked to them, and they said, hey, we don't have anything. The only thing that we have here is our capital, our human capital, and we know this as a nation. South Korea was on par with Afghanistan in terms of their economy in 1960. Now they're one of the top producing economies in the world.
Because they stressed education.
Because they stressed education.
Well, Keith, what about here? You alluded to it. If Proposition 30 doesn't pass, we're hearing horror stories about how districts are going to have to cut. Is it that simple?
Well, you know, let me tell you what's going to happen. In our district, we have 2 schedules. One is with or without. Without, we're 14 days less this year. Okay, so, and remember, we cut about 5 days off the schedule about 3 weeks,
so
about 3 years ago.
Shortened, yeah.
So we're already short. So China's at, South Korea's at 205, 210 days a year. China's at 230. Remember, they're doing about 3.5 hours more a day. We're going to go to 160 or 165.
Man, the gap's just going to get even.
It's just getting larger. And you know, our people out there have to understand this. So for right now, yes, hey, I'm not saying this because I'm a teacher and I'm a big union supporter. You have to do this just to keep our kids in school. But is there a lot of waste in the system? You bet there is. You know, one of the things is that we haven't figured out yet is vocational education, and I keep trumping this.
We talked about the last time.
50,
wood shop, electric shop type cases.
Yeah. 50% of our kids, especially our kids of color, Latinos, African Americans, don't make it through high school. Let me tell you this. We've set up our community colleges to teach kids vocational. That's too late. If you don't get them in 9th or 10th grade, it's over. It's over. It's over. And once it's over, many of these kids are going to be in an incarceration system. But it's our mentality. I hate to say it, but it's our kind of again, our white elitist mentality that the only thing that you can be is if you're a doctor or a lawyer, you're doing good. So we've kind of put our kids in that track. And
not everybody can do that.
Not everybody can do it.
To be a doctor
and
or a lawyer.
gosh, guys, plumbers and contractors and things, they make good money. And those are skills. Those are skills, and we should be teaching those skills, and we don't teach those skills. So do we need the money? Yes. But folks, if you think things are really, I know this is kind of an oxymoron, but if you think things are really, really going to change, they're not until we change our mentality, until we change our system.
And it's us, it's teachers, it's parents, it's everyone.
It's everyone. And, you know, is it, I said it's not money that's going to change it, but right now we got to have the money, because if we don't have the money, we're just looking at an absolute disaster, and that's what's coming. And so, folks, you have to vote for that. But United States, our politicians, listen, we got to follow what's going on with some other countries.
We did not bring Keith on to make a pitch for Prop 30. We just
wanted
to get his perspective.
Happened.
Yeah. The bottom line is we want to hear about your trip to South Korea and Finland, the other countries that you go to. He's been emailing us. Will you do that again?
I will. And you know, again, I'm not a fan of especially educational administrators. They don't like what I have to say, but we can learn so much from other countries in the world. You bet we can.
Keith Ballard, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Back again. I appreciate it.
Work on that passion thing about
Oh, he's got plenty of it.
We love it.
Keith, thank you.